Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everyone?
Good.
Hooray. Marty, is your eye okay?
Yeah, I had an abrasion on the cornea.
Yeah. Is it still hurting?
Nah, I'm just putting drops in it and
Oh, good. Good.
antibiotic stuff. So it's okay.
That's crazy that you got it,
Yeah,
you
it
know?
just woke up like that. So I don't know what happened. It must have been when I was sleeping.
Well, I'm glad you were like, okay, I just got to take care of it because I'm sure it would have just gotten worse.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share my screen, hopefully. How are you doing, AJ? Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. I saw some of you just a few minutes ago, which is fun. And also now, if you're like, oh my gosh, I can never go to office hours at 8 a.m. again. That was awful. What you need to know is I also have office hours Wednesday nights. Yeah. So Wednesday nights, you can come visit me. And if that doesn't work for you, you can send me a message and we can schedule another time. Okay. Now, some of you, can you guys see my screen? Okay, good. Some of you missed my office hours, which means you missed the office hours assignment because it's due tonight. If that is you, first of all, you should know if it's you. And second of all, you can um, maybe consider, I'll see if I'll schedule an appointment with you so you could get it done before tonight. But that's on you. Okay. So that being said, I don't know if you read my quotes that I put up here, but I like them. This is life is 10%, what happens to you, and 90% how you respond to it. Lou Holtz, I'm not sure I believe his percentages, but because I think he comes from a very particular place and I'm not sure where he got that info, but I appreciate the sentiment because I do think things happen to us and how we respond to them is really important. So I like that part of it, but I also think that we all need to take a moment and think about where our perspective of where we're coming from, right? So we have to be careful with that. Um, I am going to do, let's see, I think we're okay. I am going to do our mindfulness Mondays. This one's going to be a little bit different. I'm going to just going to set a timer for 2 minutes. It's going to be real quiet. If you want to turn off your camera, you can for those 2 minutes. I'll tell you when it's up. And then this is what I want you to think about when you're doing it. I want you to anytime you get stressed, you have to have some sort of technique to help yourself, to bring down your anxiety. And this is just one strategy that can help. There's lots of breathing exercises that you can do as well, but this one is specific to your five senses. So while we're doing it, what are five things you can see? So again, you can turn off your camera and look around your room and think about five things you can see in your room or whatever room you're in right now. And then four things you can touch, three things you can hear, two things you can smell, and one thing you can taste. Now, you don't have to go get a snack right now. That's not what it means. Okay. It's just like a thinking exercise. Okay. So I'll start our 2 minutes right now. So again, you can turn off your camera if you want. Remember, you're finding five things you can see, four you can touch, three you can hear, two you can smell, one you can taste. All right. All right, that was 2 minutes. It might have been a little longer than 2 minutes because I don't know how to work my phone. I told you that I switched from an Android to an iPhone, right? Yeah. Well, I'm incompetent with my iPhone. So I was looking for my timer for, I don't know, 20 seconds when I finally just said, "Hey, Siri, set a 2 minute timer," because I was having a panic attack. Thank goodness Siri was like, "Okay, your 2 minute timer is set." So it was perfect. I did not know how to turn off the timer then when it went off. So that might have been our little delay. Yeah, I can't even find the clock icon. I appreciate Marty you trying to help me, but it's just not a thing. I can't. I'm just I know it makes me sound really old, but with my Samsung, I was stellar. With my iPhone, not so much. It's okay. I'm getting better every day. Maybe Siri will just be my crutch for a while. It's all right. My flashlight is the other thing I can't figure out. Yeah, it's annoying. Yeah, slide up. I don't know how to search. Yeah, I have trouble. You guys can be my tech support. I appreciate you. Yeah, it's a thing. So, and my children would say, "Why do you have so many icons on your phone if you obviously don't understand it?" Well, it's because I put all my Android stuff on my iPhone. Oh, don't ask. Here's the good news. We just did our mindfulness Mondays, and by the way, when I do this activity, I actually write them down. So, because I can't just sit there and think, it's a problem. So I just have a whiteboard with me because I'm new to this whole quieting my mind thing, right? So if that's you, it's okay. It'll be right there with me. So one thing I noticed, I don't know, did anyone notice anything when they were doing that mindfulness activity? I noticed I could hear birds outside. Yeah, I'm not close to the window. The window's kind of far. So, but there was very nice, pleasant birds chirping. Anyone else notice something when they were doing it? I have a mouthy cat. I have one of those too, but it's actually asleep right now, so it was not making noise. Anyone else notice something in their room that they didn't even realize they could see from where they were sitting? You guys are not chatty this morning. I noticed my newly painted balcony railing, which is so exciting. I thought I was going to break my back on Saturday when I was finishing painting it. But I finished. Whew. So the balcony railing's done. Now I have to do the balcony bottom part. It's okay. That'll be easier than the railing. Okay. So I hope you appreciated Mindfulness Monday. They'll be different each week. Some weeks you'll like them. Some weeks you'll be like, could have done without that one. It's okay. It's all good. So let's do this in a class chat. Don't hit enter yet. Get this ready. What is 3/5 as a decimal and then as a percent? Wow. Waking up early with math, right? So get it ready in the chat. 3/5 as a decimal and then as a percent. Don't hit enter yet. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Nice. Aren't you excited when you look over there and you see that your answer matches some people's answers? Isn't that exciting? I know. You're like, well, that was an easy one. Someone tell me how you did it. Anyone, I don't care. Just tell me how you did it. You divided 3 by 5. Did you use a calculator, Jenday? Okay. How many of you did it that way? You just divided it on your calculator. Did anyone do it differently? AJ said he knew it. Marty said he knew it. Marty said 1/5 of 100 is 20%. So then if I was looking at 3/5, I would just do 3 copies of 20% and get 60%. Very nice. Ashley said she divided it by hand. You're awesome, Ashley. Did you do it too, Valerie? Did you divide it by hand? Nice. Look at those math skills, practicing those. Yep. And Marty multiplied by 3. AJ, did you just divide on a calculator?
Did it in my head.
What do you mean you did it in your head? What'd you do?
3. I just divided it in my head.
You got to explain to me what you mean.
3.0 divided by 5 got 6.
Okay. So you just looked at it like it was a long division problem, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
I don't know why it won't let me write right here. Okay, it's okay. So you did 3.0 divided by 5 and got 0.6. And then to make it a percent, we just multiply by 100, right?
Right.
Now, I want you to think about this. Did anyone think of doing it this way? So then I knew that 3/5 was 6/10. And then I said, oh, 6/10, that's 0.6. Nice. I'm not saying it's better. I'm just saying it's different. Some of you don't want to share your thinking because you're like, I didn't think of any of those ways. I did it totally different. That's what we want to hear. We want to hear all these different ways. It's okay. No worries. Okay. So good job. Any questions for anyone who was struggling with that? Is everybody all right? I know that was kind of a nice one to start. I just put a doc in the chat right now that you can make a copy of. And it is fractions, decimals, and percents together. And there's stuff missing. I want you to try that. I just put it in the chat, so I should be able to show it on my screen. You can make your own copy if you want to write on it. So right here, notice on this first one, I gave you the decimal 0.23. I want you to write that as a fraction as a percent. Okay. But do you see how it says show your work? I know some of you are going to say, I did it in my head. Yeah. Here's the unfortunate news. I cannot see inside your head. So I need you to write some things down. So then if I ask you to explain it, you remember what you did, right? Instead of, oh, I just did it in my head. Is everybody okay? Did everybody access this document? Yes? Okay, I'm going to give you about, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes to do that. You can ask me questions in the chat. You can ask me questions out loud, but fill in the rest of the boxes. The easiest way to do it, in my opinion, but I'm pretty good technology wise, is to make a copy and just type on the screen. If you don't like that, you can use just a whiteboard and write down the ones. It shouldn't take you too long to write down with a whiteboard or just a piece of paper, right? Just do it on a piece of paper. Okay. All right. So in 5 minutes, we'll talk about it. I know there's some stuff below it. You don't have to go to that stuff, just this stuff. Just the table. Ooh, done. Type what you're making for dinner in the chat. Oh, no. That sounds like too far away. How about you type your favorite cookie? Your favorite cookie in the chat when you're done. Okay. Valerie on 1.09. I want a fraction and I want a percent, both. And if you're unsure, it's okay. Just do what you think and then we'll talk about it when we're done. Jende, did you make a copy of it? Okay, perfect. Don't forget when you're finished, put your favorite cookie in the chat. AJ's must be done. White chip macadamia, those are really good. Okay, now we're getting more people done. We got lots of chocolate chip fans. Very standard cookie. I'm not sure you can go wrong with that, right? Yeah, I actually have some of like a tub of that dough in my fridge right now. Maybe I should make some for my kids for a treat today. That would be fun. Sugar cookies are always good. Do you like them iced or not iced, Ashley? Not iced. Ooh, plain. I like that too. Macadamia and Hawaiian cookies. Nice. Snickerdoodles are the best. I love snickerdoodles. Those are so fun. There's a restaurant in North Phoenix called Chino Bandito Takeouti. Anyone ever heard of it? No, it is a dump. It's a really tiny, it's not a dump. It has really amazing food and it's very clean. It's in a very strange place. I don't even know if it's still there. They tried to open one out here in the East Valley and they closed it right away. I think it was just timing. But it is a very strange place, very strange food, and they give huge fresh snickerdoodles to you while you eat. They're so good. So good. All right, we have a couple snickerdoodles fans. I'm definitely making cookies now after class because, I mean, not till like 2 o'clock because now it sounds good. Okay, so let's go over some of these. Okay. Um, let's talk about, and I'll just ask for volunteers. And if we don't volunteer, we'll just voluntold. Yeah. So if you're worried about it, you might want to volunteer for one of the first ones, right? I'm going to put it a little bit different in here so I can write on it, just so you know. So think about which one you want to do. If you want to claim it already in the chat, you can. I'm fine with that. If you're like, I want to do the first one, that's totally fine. Sorry, this is taking longer. I thought I had everything ready in here, but I apparently did not. Okay, I think Valerie wants to do the first one. Is that true, Valerie? I'm going to make a new page right here. Oh my. My technology is not cooperating. Just give me a minute. It'll be so much nicer if I do it this way. That's why. Okay, here we go. Can you guys still see my screen or no? Yay. Okay, good. Not anymore because I just moved it. Okay, so Valerie's going to do the first one. Valerie, do you want to tell me what the answers are for the fraction and the percent?
23 over 100 and the percent is 23%.
How many of you agree? Give a thumbs up, clapping hands, party hat, something. Do you agree with Valerie's?
I think
Excellent.
the first one we had to decimal place value. I'm like barely waking up at the same time, so I hope it's right. And then we divide it after we move the place value to the 3, then we divide. That's how I got it.
Very nice. Remember, you can read that decimal 23 hundredths, which would mean 23 over 100. Excellent. And Valerie was right. You've shifted your place value 2 to the right, which is also multiplying by 100 to get to the percent. All right. How about the second one? Oh, Angelina, you're on it. I'm ready, Angelina.
Okay, so for the first part, for the fraction, I got 3 over 20. And then for the decimal, I got 0.15. And for the fraction, I put 15 over 100 and then reduced it.
Nice. How
one.
did you simplify that? 15 over 100.
So 5 goes into both of them, and then I just divided it.
Perfect. How many of you got the same thing Angelina got? 3 over 20 and 0.15. Nice, nice. All right. Now, this one was a little more challenging. The third one, 1.09 as a decimal. Who wants to try that one? And if you get it wrong, it's totally fine. No worries.
I did the same thing, like 109 over 100, and I wanted to convert it into 9 over 100. So I did both.
Nice. Excellent. 109 over 100, which is the same as 1 and 9 over 100. Was anyone worried about that one because the top was bigger than the bottom? Yeah, you were like, don't like that, right? 109 over 100. But what'd you get for the percent, Valerie?
109%.
Yeah, notice that that percent is bigger than 100. So with our decimal, it's larger than 1. So with our fraction, it's going to be an improper fraction, or we could make it a mixed number, either way. Now, on a test, which answer do I want? Either one. You're good. I'm going to count them both right. Okay, any questions on that one? All
What's
right,
the
so
process of getting it down to that 1 and then 9 over 100? Just
no, Yeah,
take
you
off the
don't have,
ones.
oh, you want to know how to do it?
Yeah.
Perfect. It's basically a division problem. So you're going to do 109. I'll write it over here. 109 divided by 100. And you would say 100 goes in 109 one time. And then I'm going to write that and I'm going to subtract it. So here's my whole number 1 right here. And then I have 9 left over. That's like my remainder. And you always put your remainder over your divisor. That's the divisor. So 1 is the whole number part. And then the remainder of 9 goes over your divisor. Does that help? And it might be easier if you looked at like a small example, like a fraction, like I'll just do an example over here. Like if you have 4 over 3, if we convert that, sorry, hold on. 3 goes into 4 once, and then I have 1 left over. So 4/3 is the same as 1 1/3, right? 4/3 is the same as 1 1/3. Does that help a little bit? Yay. Excellent. All right. Who's going to do the next one? 4%. Let's pick someone new, someone who's a little shy, who might be a little nervous, or who's just trying to stay awake on this Monday morning. Amari.
I'll go.
Oh, who said I'll go? Malachi, I'm ready.
So we got 4%. So to get the decimal, took 4%, divided it by 100, got 0.04. And then the fraction, I got 4 over 100 and then reduced it to 2 over 50.
Anyone agree? Disagree? Want to add anything?
I got 1 over 24. Did I do that wrong?
So I think we can simplify this a little more. 2 over 50 can go down to 1 over, is it 24 or is it 25?
25.
25. Because you take half of 4 to get 2, you take half of 2 to get 1. You take half of 100 to get 50, half of 50 to get 25. Very nice. So Malachi, you were right there. You just didn't quite finish, but good job. Questions on that one? All right. How about the next one? 0.215. Anyone? Deshay, Ashley, Dom, Jenday, Amari, Amanda. Oh, we'll play a fun game then. Here's the fun game we'll play. I have a random number generator on my calculator, yeah? So I'm going to use it. I'm going to put in the numbers 1 to, actually, I'm going to put 2 to 15 in here. And whoever comes up, that's who's going to answer. Dom, it's you. I know, you're the lucky one. And I promise I really am using a random number generator and I'm using my attendance sheet to get that. Maybe I'll put up the spinning wheel sometime with all your names in it and we'll see if we like that better. Okay, so Dom, just give it a try. If you don't know, it's totally fine. We're all here to learn together.
Okay, let me just bring up, what did I put? So I put, for the fraction, I had 43 over 200. And for the percent, I had 21.5. I got the percent because I just moved the decimal 2 places to the right. And then for the fraction, I couldn't find a more simplified version.
I agree. Do you know how you got 43 over 200?
I do. So first I did the decimal over 1. Times it by 100, both sides, the 0.215 and the 1 by times it by 100. And then that got me the 21.5. That got me the percent, 21.5 over 100. And then let's see, yeah, how I got the decimal and the percent.
And then how'd you get that fraction of 43 over 200?
Should I get the fraction? I just lost. How did I get it? 43 over 2.
I like your answer. I'm just wondering how you got there.
Me too. I'm sorry.
No, you're good, Dom. Did anyone get that same answer, 43 over 200? Yeah.
got the same
Anyone know
answer
how
as
they
well.
got it? Because maybe Dom did it the same way, or maybe Dom did it differently.
43 over 1,000. Or sorry, I'm barely waking up. 215 over 1,000.
Very nice. You could multiply the top by 10 and the bottom by 10, which would give you 215 over 1,000. And then that fraction simplifies to 43 over 200. That's totally correct. Did anyone use their calculator to get it? Anyone do that? Remember, you can. The keys that you use, actually, I'll pull it up on the Desmos calculator, just because I know that a lot of you are using the Desmos calculator. Let's look at Desmos. Let's go 21.5 divided by 100, right? Because that's what percent means. And then if I press this little fraction button, it gives me the magical answer right there. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Yeah. So you could just do it that way if you want. But Valerie was totally correct in that mathematically, if you put 21.5 over 100, and then you want it to look like just a fraction, if you multiply the numerator and denominator by 10, it makes it 215 over 1,000. And then what goes into both of those would be a 5. And that's how you get 43 over 200. Okay. You can use a calculator like this. Marty, did you try it?
Yeah, but I couldn't figure out how to get fractions to come up on
Okay.
it.
So Marty, let's do it right now. If you have this calculator, let's do it.
Okay.
So if you do 21.5 divided by 100, it's going to give you that decimal 0.215, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Now hit a button that says math. And the first thing should say fraction. Hit
Okay.
enter. And then did it say 43 over 200?
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh, wait, no, it says 43 over 20.
Not if you put in 0.215,
0.215. That's why.
right?
That's why I did that. Okay.
Better?
Yep. Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Math. That's the
Anyone
key. That's
else?
the button. Okay.
Anyone else have calculator questions for me? How to do that one? You okay? All right. Great job, Dom. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, you can use prime factorization. I'm so proud that Dom just was our first voluntold. Yeah. Thanks for the clapping hands, Valerie. Dom needs that party hat. He needs that thumbs up. He needs something, right? And he's only getting it from Valerie. That's really sad. You're getting it from me, Dom, too. It's okay. I appreciate you. Oh, thanks, Amanda. Yeah, play along with me. It gets worse. I don't get better. I just get more obnoxious, just in case you thought I was going to let it go. I don't let it go. Okay, so last one. Who's my brave soul? Let's see, who haven't I heard from? Amari, Jende, Ashley, Deshay, Amanda.
So for the decimal, I had got, let me see, zero 0.0 0.075. And then for the fraction, I got 3/40.
How'd you get to either of those or both of those?
For the decimal, I just went back 2 places. For the fraction, I honestly did the fraction in my head because I know 75 is 3/4 and there's a 0 in front of it, so it's gonna be a 40.
That's so tricky, Amari. I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, okay, Amari's super smart. Did anyone get that? Because you're like, okay, 75, if it was just 0.75, it would be 3/4. But since the place value is shift one more to the right, that would mean my denominator has to have a 0 at the end. So instead of 3/4, it would be 3/40. Did anyone do it differently? Some of you are super quiet. It's okay. The problems get worse. I appreciate that you're so quiet now because later they'll
yeah.
get better.
Actually, I did it a little differently. I used the decimal value and put it over 1, and then I multiplied by 1,000 to get myself to 75, and then I simplified it down from there.
Perfect. That's awesome, Marty. Thanks for sharing that. So 75 thousandths, right? So you could have put 0.075 over 1, or I just read it mathematically, 75 thousandths. So I go straight to 75 over 1,000. And then you divide the numerator and denominator by 25 and you get 3/40. Hooray. Okay, so you have a quiz on Thursday. Did anyone notice that? Yeah. It's going to be a crazy different quiz, probably a more different quiz than you've ever had before. Are you ready for how it's going to be? Because I decided I'm not doing it on Canvas. We'll save that for the stats test. So here's what it's going to be. I'm going to give you the quiz. There's only 3 questions. They're all percents. Okay. But they're percent application problems, which we're going to talk about tomorrow in class. Like, how do I find a tip? How do I find the sales tax? Those kind of things. You're going to work on those 3 problems. And after you're done or at a certain point, you're going to say, I'm ready, right? By privately chatting me or asking me for help from your breakout room. And I'm going to put you in a breakout room with just me, or I'm going to come to your breakout room with just you. And then you're going to present one of those problems to me, whichever one you choose out of the 3. You're going to teach it to me. You're going to show me your explanation. So that's what we were practicing right now, is how do you solve those kind of problems and how do you explain it to me? And then as soon as you're done, you're going to upload your 3 solutions to Canvas for your quiz grade. The one you present is going to count in 2 ways, your written work and then your presentation. So you'll get graded on a total of 4 questions. Nice. Does that sound like a super fun test? Okay, nobody's smiling but me. Okay, Amanda's smiling. Marty's got a party hat. Dom looks terrified. Malachi's like, I don't know what I signed up for in this class. No other math teacher is this crazy. Yeah, you're right. Welcome. It's going to be better than any quiz you would have taken, I promise you. Okay? Because when you take a quiz like this, then I'm able to ask you questions. And let's say you make a little mistake, I'm going to be able to ask you questions and get you back on track. Okay. When I give all oral exams in 2 of my other classes, not this class, but my other 2 classes that I teach, my teacher ed classes, and they at first are terrified and hate them. And then they're like, can we just do all oral exams? I don't like the online one. They get confusing. So there you go. Okay. Everybody all right? Any questions about Thursday? No, you're so deer in the headlights right now. You don't even know what to say. Yeah, I feel your pain. Hey, Dom. Dom and I met this morning and we talked about the updates and announcements page. Yeah. And some people were like, maybe I didn't even know that was there. Yeah, has anyone ever seen this page? Maybe I should show it to you. One moment. Because I spend a lot of time writing it, so it'd be nice if somebody was reading it. So let me figure out where I want to go. 1 minute. I know I'm not in the right page. What are you even looking at right now? Are you looking at a Canvas page at all? Somebody's got to talk out loud because my whole Zoom window disappeared.
It looks like different place values homework.
Oh, it's not your class, but it will be in a second. One moment. Okay. Let me go to your class. So when you come to our class, okay, when we get to our class, you see this page, right? Okay, this right here says course announcements on the blackboard right here. If you click on that, it brings up updates and announcements. This is a Google Doc that I make every week. And by Sunday, it's updated. It'll tell you new and exciting things. Ooh, by the way, Math Club's having their kickoff meeting with astronomy professor Kevin Healy, who's going to be presenting on the science of interstellar. How many of you know that movie, Interstellar? Some of you, maybe. I literally can't see you right now, but I will in a minute. And then I always list the assignments that are due. So by tonight, the office hours assignments due. By tomorrow, you have a more assignment due. By Wednesday, you have a quizzes activity, which by the way, we should finish in class. And then you have a percent assessment review. This is going to be like your practice quiz. Really nice. And then Thursday, you're going to have your quiz due. And then on Sunday, you have 2 assignments due. So that's a look at the week. So if you have a busy week, then you know now how to schedule it. So if you can bookmark this page, by the way, or you can always get to it from that course announcements link. The other way you can get to it is from the announcements tab. You just have to go into the announcement and then it links you to the same page. So right there inside Canvas. Okay. Questions on that? How many of you have seen that page before besides Dom? AJ, Marty. Nice. Jenday said yes. So how many of you are excited that I do that? Otherwise I can stop. Okay, Valerie, Dom is Malachi. Okay, Amanda, because I'm like, I can stop. It's just extra work for me. All of that information is on Canvas. I just put it there because I think sometimes it's just nice to get a little, it's almost like a newsletter, right? Here's what's happening in a nutshell, right, for this week. All right. Any questions for me about this week? Okay, if you come to class every day, pay attention, and you do your homework, like your more homework and your percent assessment review, you're going to be golden for this quiz. Some of you are like, I love my math grade right now, but maybe it's just because I didn't take a quiz yet. It's okay. Your grade can still be that awesome after this quiz. Some of you are like, I don't even like my math grade yet because I already missed an assignment. What is happening? I better get back on track. Yeah, I'm right there with you. Let's do it. Okay. So if you look at the rest of the handout that I gave you, it is some notes. And this actually comes from our textbook. I should look and see if that textbook is linked here, because if it's not, I will add it. I will add some readings. I have, okay, so it's in the personal finance readings. There's a book on the shelf in my virtual classroom called Personal Finance. We're not doing the whole personal finance unit right now, but we are doing PF1, which is percent basics, and probably through PF2, PF3, but definitely PF1. Okay. All right, so that could help you as well. And so some of the things that are in here in this slide is clipped from, I don't think I'm sharing my screen anymore. This slide that you see right here that's on your handout and on my screen is from the textbook, the free textbook that's linked in our course. So some of you might really like a textbook. If you do, you still have access to it, okay? It has some example problems, and I'll be linking assignments to that starting next week, okay? So a lot of you already know these things, right? How do you take the percent and make it, how do you take a number and make it a percent? How do you, if you have the part, what do you do if you have a decimal? So I don't like the way these formulas are written, but it's there for you if it helps you. Okay. So some people use an equation like this. What is 30% of 150? Has anyone, do these problems seem familiar to you where it asks you what is 30% of 150 or something like that? Can you guys just try it and tell me how you do it? Like when you're done, I'll give you about, I don't know, a minute to try that problem and see what you get. And then we'll talk about what are the different ways, because I think the different ways will come through with your explanation.
Are we finding the value?
Yep. You're finding what is 30% of 150. All right. Who wants to explain how they did this one? What is 30% of 150? Jenday sent me her answer.
I can give it a go.
All right.
So for this one, overall, I got 45 for it. How I got there was I just pretty much took the words and just simplified that down to a bunch of math lingo. So what I took down to X, that's just the variable I chose. And then for that's equal. And then 30%, and then I have that as times 150. Then I simplified that down to 0.3 times 150. And then got 45 for X equals 45.
All right. So, Aaron, thank you for sharing. That's called direct translation. Okay. So, direct translation using algebra, we interpreted what as our variable was our equal sign, and then our number, and then of is multiplication, and then 150. So, good job. And then you knew that to multiply a percent times a number, you have to change that percent to a decimal, right? Good job. Did anyone do it differently? Deshay said she used the formula. Did you use the formula right there on the screen, Deshay?
Yeah.
All right. So the formula on the screen is we were finding the part. So we just left it part equals, and then we took our percent, which you still had to make a decimal, right? Times our whole and divide it. Maybe you didn't. Hold on. I don't use that formula. Can you tell? Yeah, so you don't have to make it a decimal right here. So you would just take, because that's why we're dividing by 100. So 30 times 150 divided by 100, and you would still get 45. Did anyone do it differently? Marty said, I did it an easy way. This is a great strategy. This is a great strategy. So finding 10% is real easy. How do you find 10%, Marty?
I just divide by 10.
Which really just shifts your place value one to the left, right?
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
instead of 150, 10% is 15, then multiply by 3. Because you don't want 10%, you want 30%. So 15 times 3 is 45. We still get the same number. I do that all the time. My biggest time that I do that is when I am finding a tip at a restaurant, right? I take 10% and then I double it because I leave a 20% tip, right? Most of the time. Sometimes I leave more.
Oh, you can come to my restaurant anytime, Roxanne.
Do people leave less than that? I think that's very insulting if people leave less than that.
It happens, yeah.
Yeah. So what restaurant are you at, Marty, by the way? Because I'm getting hungry right now.
I work at a place called the Hidden House in downtown Chandler.
Ooh, I've never even heard of it. What kind of food is it?
It's kind of like American eclectic, but we really specialize in craft cocktails. We have all mixologists there, so we have like classic cocktails, and we have a really extensive wine list. But we have at night we do some food specials, but usually, we sell like Peking duck. We have diver scallops.
Oh, you guys are bougie.
We are really
Jen
bougie.
Day, I love that. Yeah. I'm not sure I'm bougie enough for that place, but we'll see.
The food is really good. We do a really good burger too. It's called the double burger. It's like kind of like the Big Mac and a double had a baby. That's what that burger would be like.
Okay.
So.
Well, now I'm really hungry. Jen Day has a question. Go ahead. Jen Day.
Fries? You are
Oh yeah, fries. Oh yeah, we have really good fries.
Random fries or your specialty fries?
They are specialty fries. They come out really good. I eat them every day when I'm there.
Okay, I'll be over there in like a week.
Yeah. Lunch is really good too. We do like a duck confit melt. We do a lobster BLT with like lobster salad. We serve it open face. We have a lobster mac and cheese. That's really good.
Are you kidding me? Like seriously? Like you're gonna talk about this? And
I know. Okay. Pause. We have to
I'll
stop talking about it, but I'm so excited. I've never even heard of that restaurant. And now I'm totally, well, right now I would just do takeout because I don't go
look us up
inside
online.
places.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So just so you know, that's so exciting. Okay. Did anyone have any other way to do this? Because I have one more way to do this problem. And I think somebody might have done it. Anyone? Anyone do this? Anyone do this right here? Does that look familiar to anyone? Yeah, a couple people are shaking their head. That's called a proportion, right? Where we set one fraction equal to another fraction. Some of you, I never teach this, but some of you have heard this, is over of. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that, so pretend I didn't say it. Has anyone heard that before? Okay, if you haven't heard it, good. But this is how this proportion works. Anytime you have a fraction equal to another fraction, then these cross products have to be equivalent. So what that means is if I multiply 150 times 30 and then I divide by 100, I'm going to get the answer. So it's actually very similar to this formula. It just looks a little bit different. Okay. And it's similar to this formula because you could say 100x equals 30 times 50. And then you divide both sides by 100, which notice that looks exactly like that. Okay. So here's why I did it this way. If you'll notice, if you want to go through my actual lesson, I have slides and slides and slides of information, but I think you already know some of this. So I wanted to see how you did it instead of trying to mess up the way you already do it. Okay. We just have 2 more problems to do. Let's try this one. 45 is what percent of 150? I'm pretty sure you know the answer already, but think about how you would do it. So this time we're looking for the percent instead of the part. So notice in that box, I had a different formula, but some of you might do it differently depending on how it's written. So try that one again. I'll give you like 2 minutes and then we'll talk about it. All right. Anyone explain how they did this one? And hopefully you didn't just say, I knew the answer from the question before, so I just used that. Some of you are like, wait, it's the same question? What's happening? I know, it's okay. So AJ says he just took 45 out of 150 and got 0.3 and then took that 0.3 times 100 and got 30%. That's an awesome strategy, AJ. That's probably what a lot of you think of when it asks for finding the percent. We know that sometimes they give us a fraction, right? And to make it a percent, we can just do that division and then multiply it by 100. Hopefully this would never be anyone's score on a quiz, but if you think about it, if your teacher said you got 45 out of 150 on the quiz, you did not do well, right? Yeah. So any other ways that you did this one?
I tried doing it the example that you put up above where you put a part, a whole, and then the times 100, and I ended up with 3/10.
Like this right here?
Yeah, and then I got 0.3 times 10, and I guess that x I times it by 100 to make a 30. Is that right?
Yeah. So it shouldn't say times 10. It should say times 100. Right? Yep. So that totally works. Very nice. Did anyone do it differently? Aaron, did you do direct translation again?
Yeah, I did both just to try the other one out. But yeah, I liked the
Excellent.
translation one, so I usually do that one.
So tell me what you would do, Aaron, for this one.
Yeah, so again, I just simplified in a bunch of math jargon. So 45 equals P for percent times 150. And then so for that, so for 45, I put that over 150. And then for the 150 over P, or 150P, I just put it over 150 again. So it negates itself, and then pretty much just divided it back. It's got 0.3, and then put that into a percentage.
Nice. So Aaron's direct translation still works, right? You can still do that. So if you like that method, go for it. Anyone do anything differently? Remember, we can always set up a proportion too. Since this time I don't know the percent, a percent is always over 100, right? So now I just have to decide what goes on the top, what goes on the bottom. So the 45, 150 is the whole. And to solve this, I multiply the 2 on the diagonal and I divide by the third one. So I would do 45 times 100 divided by 150. If you do that on your calculator, 45 times 100 divided by 150, guess what you'll get? 30. And then you just need to make sure you put your percent sign, right? So there's lots of ways to do the same problem. Everybody okay? The only other format it comes in is this. So sometimes it says, okay, 22 is 40% of what number? So this time we're not looking for part. We're not looking for the percent. This time we're looking for the total. Yeah. So, and here's the formula they give you, this equation they give you, part equals decimal times whole, which is very similar to Aaron's method, right? Which is just direct translation. Try this one. It's similar to what we were doing before. So try this one and see what you get. You don't know the answer this time. So you can do it any of the 3 ways that I showed you. All right, any ideas on this one? So if we just do direct translation like Aaron did before, we could say 22 is, let's change this percent to a decimal, which would be 0.40. And then this is the part we don't know. A lot of us would use a variable here. So then to solve it, I can divide both sides by 0.4, and it doesn't matter put the 0 there or not, you will still get the same answer. Like Aaron said, that's part simplifies. That's why you did it, to get this x by itself. So x equals 22 divided by 0.4. And when you do that, you get 55. And I want you to think about that. Okay, so if 22 is 40%, if we doubled it, we'd get 44. That would be 80%, right? So it's definitely got to be bigger than 44. That's kind of a nice way to kind of make sense of the problem when you're doing it, right? Here's another way. You could rearrange the equation because now we're looking for the whole. So right here in this equation, you could say the whole is the part divided by the decimal, which might be easy for you. Or you could use the proportional reasoning again. So 40 over 100, you just have to decide if the 22 goes on the top or if the 22 goes on the bottom. And the easy way to think about it is the 22 has to be on the same line as the 40 because it says 22 is 40%. If I put it on the bottom of the fraction, that would say it's 100%, and it's not 100%. Okay, so I know that what I'm missing is down here at the bottom. Okay, I could use an X, I could use a question mark, I could use a heart, whatever you want as your missing thing. And then how you solve all proportions, you multiply the 2 on the diagonal. So you would do 22 times 100, and then you divide by the remaining number. So notice that you'll still get the same answer. If you do 22 times 100 and then divide it by 40, you're going to get 55. So you get it either way. For me, I don't know if you can tell this, I can do it any of the ways. This is the way I like the best. And the reason is I don't have to remember formulas, and they're all solved the same. And I never have to move my decimal points. Right? So that's why I use this way. I'm not trying to talk you into it. Most of you already have a strategy. That's awesome. But I like what Aaron said before. He said, I'm just trying some different ways, right? Great. Because you got to have more than one tool, because what if your way doesn't work on the test for whatever reason? You're freaking out. Okay. So my slides are posted for today. You can go through the rest of them. I have a lot of explanation there. We were going to do, no, I think that's all that we were going to do today. Yay, I just have a lot of explanation. Oh, we were going to do this. We'll do this tomorrow. So that's okay. And then I'm going to give you your exit ticket in the chat. I don't know why it says September 9th, 2020. That must have been when I did this before. September 9th, 2020. It is not September 9th, 2020. Please do not let us flash back to that. Okay. But I will put our exit ticket in the chat. So what is your homework for today? Anyone know? This must be, I must have put this up here before I updated it. So, because your exit ticket is right there. That might not be the right QR code. It should be. Did it work? Let me click on it. Let me click on it and see what it brings up. Yeah, it's right. 2/1/21. Okay. You have your office hours assignment due tonight. Some of you have already turned it in, right? Some of you better email me if you want credit on that, right? So we can set up a time to meet. This is not due till tomorrow. Could you start on it now? For sure. Would that be a good idea since you have a quiz on Thursday? For sure. Okay. So try your exit ticket. If you have any questions, stay on here. I can answer them. If you, when you finish, you can go. Great job today.
Did we have to turn in a copy of the percentage basics worksheet that we completed in class?
Nope, it's just for your notes.
Okay, awesome.
Yep.
Okay,
See you tomorrow.
bye. See ya.
Bye.